How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Whiskey. It is currently 8:30 in the morning and I have a 3.5-hour drive because we are heading to Houston. I'm heading there for the Whiskey Washback event, but while we're there today, we're gonna do some bourbon hunting. I'm meeting up with Jared, subscriber of the channel, and Taylor, another subscriber of the channel. Now, what's really cool about this is Taylor is actually a professional baseball player. He plays for an affiliate team with the Boston Red Sox. Can't wait to meet these guys. They're gonna show me around their local spots here on the south end of Houston. We'll see you there. All right, everyone, so we are in the south of Houston. We're in League City, Texas, and we got a few guys with us today. We're gonna introduce every single one of them to you.
Hey guys, my name is Vismay Patel, owner of Reserve Wine and Spirits, my baby right behind us.
My name is Taylor, and I am from Houston, outside a little bit. What would that be? Northwest side in Cypress, Texas, and just happy to be here.
And my name is Jared Parsons from right here in League City, Texas. This is my home store, and I'm just an avid bourbon lover and collector.
And for those of you that don't know, we basically have the store owner right behind us, a pro baseball player, and a local. You're the one that started this whole thing to get us here. We're gonna go browse the shelves and recommend some stuff to you. We'll see you inside. All right, here we go. We're gonna take you among the shelves now. We're kind of spread out throughout a line here. All gonna pull out bottles, recommend bottles, and just talk through it. Here we go. Oh, dude.
It's like Coca-Cola, man.
That Grizzly Beast, 100 proof bottled and bond. Listen, if you've been chasing that E.H. Taylor, put that down and go after, look at this. What's the price on that? $79.99 for the Grizzly Beast, and there's a few of them here. It's fantastic. What would you compare it to?
To me, it's almost like a whiskey Coca-Cola, but without having to do the mixer with it. It's just got those nice, sweet caramel notes to it. And I could see E.H. Taylor with it as well. It's just easy drinking and 100 proof and $80, man. Like, come on.
I agree 100%. I get a lot of flack sometimes because I say that I don't like E.H. Taylor small batch, but the reason I'm saying I don't like E.H. Taylor small batch is because this Grizzly Beast is just that much better. It really is. 100 proof, bottled and bond. They're also making their own whiskey, shout out. California is actually where they're at, right? California, they're doing some great stuff. Some of their limited releases are fantastic. I absolutely love them. But look, for you guys in the comments here, which one of these two would you go home with? Are you, anybody here, which one? I've seen a few of these, but the price kind of throws me off for this one in particular. The Derringer's really good.
It's just a classic, just a finished bourbon that's rich, sweet, spicy, has everything going for it. In general, I think like when people look at Angel's Envy, I think that is mass produced. Something like Derringer is small, artisanal, and it's just so much better, I think. Another one, real quick.
Yeah, let's get it.
From my home state of Georgia.
Come on.
I freaking love 13 Colony. And then this rye, it is, I mean, I think it's one of my favorite ryes of all time. And I mean, I have a penchant for it because I think it's one of the best ryes and the first ryes that I've tried that I fell in love with immediately.
Actually, this is one of the best prices, $39.99. I say if you got 45 bucks, maybe a little less to spend, you're like, hey, what's one bottle? I'm really looking into getting a rye. What's it gonna be? That 13 Colony is insane. I haven't even heard of these. Who are these guys?
So these guys this is Fierce Whiskers. They're out of Austin. And I just went to the distillery probably a couple weeks ago, and I got to try this there along with some of the special releases that don't get released to liquor stores, unfortunately. This stuff for, what, 57 bucks, something like that? It's outstanding. It's easy to drink, it's very sweet, and it's just very approachable for a rye. The lower proof makes it very approachable. This plus the 13 Colonies, I think, would definitely get somebody into rye if you're looking to go that route.
I have a question though. This right here, you got to come talk about this for me. You got to come tell us about this Lasso Motel. Okay, what do you think of this?
The Lasso Motel. This was brought to me about, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks ago. And this company, distillery, literally just blew my mind. They have probably 10 to 12 different finishes. And then they make their standard products, bourbon and rye as well. These two babies right here, they were my favorite out of all of their finishes. A Naranja cask, which will give this rare baby right here, Penelope Valencia, a run for its money. And then a port cask finish that will, I mean, like it would easily beat Angel's Envy, hands down, any day. And so the secret of these is that they get their source and they get their bourbon from Green River, which is an amazing distillery. So
secret.
Trade secret.
One thing that we did pass up that the store owner just pointed out, hello, batch 5 Penelope Valencia on the shelf right here, $79.99. I am a huge Penelope fan, especially when it comes to the Valencia. I love the architect. I love, probably one of my favorite whiskeys, the American Light Whiskey. So to see the batch 5 Valencia for $79.99, I think there's 1, 2, 3 bottles left. Might come home with each one of us. We'll see, but I definitely think that's coming home with me for sure. So up top over here, you have some of the Redwood Empire Pipe Dream for $70.99. Right next to it, you have some of the Lost Monarch, and then the Rocket Top. That's basically their bottled and bond rye, but the one on this shelf that I really want to point out right down here is the Still Austin Red Corn. Now, this is the brand new batch, the 5-year, basically it bottled and bond, 5-year-old though. I've had the 4-year, now I've had the 5, and I gotta say, this one blew me away today. We had a lot of samples right before we started this video. He brought some fantastic stuff. I'm talking 13th Colony, 15th Anniversary, Still Austin, Nancy Fraley picks, phenomenal. 1792 Sweet Wheat. That Still Austin Red Corn held up against all of them. I really, really loved it, especially the 5-year. So if you can see the 5-year and one of your local stores, pick that up for sure. We got some samples poured up here. Which one are we drinking now?
So right now we are drinking the Garrison Brothers Cast Strength Store Pick that I went with him and chose. You don't have to be a Garrison Brothers fan to love this stuff, man. It's so good. Yes, I'm biased. I helped pick the barrel, okay?
And this is what proof? The 130?
This
Dude,
was 133.1.
133.
I love high proof. Yeah. I love high proof. The other one that I tried earlier was 139.
Yep, this was a personal barrel that we did.
Yeah.
It didn't make enough to put in the store, but it was so good we had to buy it. So
how many bottles did it yield?
This one yielded 13 and a half.
That's insane.
We had to buy them in multiples of 6 per Texas law. So they said with the extra bottle and a half, you can either donate it as a small batch or you can drink it on the bottling line. So we drank a bottle and a half of 139.1 proof in a distillery tour, and it's good stuff.
I tried both of them. The one you're sipping now, I actually preferred a little bit more than the 139 proof. It's Texas whiskey though. It's bold, you know. It's got a lot of oak tannin to it. Tastes oaky. It tastes sour in a good way. Funky, yeah. I get that sour, but it's good.
A lot of oak, a lot of chocolate, a lot
I'm
of
not
cinnamon.
a huge high proof person, but it's pretty good.
This was by far, out of all the ones that we sampled, this was incredible. I am a Still Austin fan, Still Austin Cash Ring, but the store picks that I've had were not so good at all. This store pick right here from Reserve Wine and Spirits for $69.99. I normally see them for $90. This stuff is incredible. We got a little bit of Green River Foolproof right next to it. This, I can't even read it. I don't understand what this is, FEW, but he says this tastes like pumpkin puree. We have a Blue Note pick, Murray Hill Club for $139.99. The Garrison Brothers pick, again, I normally pass these up because of that price at $170. I would drink that all day long. It's amazing. Elijah Craig toasted some Campfire. This Chattanooga pick, if you're a Scotch fan, if you like a little bit of peat, that's what this tastes like. I actually really did enjoy it, and I hate Chattanooga, but I do like this one. Some of this 9-banded. Now, correct me, this is a weeded MGP, right? Yeah. Weeded MGP, $55. I actually really liked it. The Blue Note pick, if you're wondering, is $49.99. Now, the Jefferson's Reserve, it's one of the better Jefferson's picks I've had. I'm still not a Jefferson's fan. So this one won't be coming home with me. But if you're a Jefferson's fan, you might really, really like this.
All right, guys, it's October. It's officially spooky season, and this is Few Smash Pumpkins. It is an incredible bourbon that they make that's 4 years old. And believe it or not, there's no pumpkin puree in this or nothing added, no flavors, no nothing. It is just a bourbon that's infused in tea, and they achieve a flavor of literally pureed pumpkins and rose. It's incredible.
I'm so excited to try this. I'm like the typical, you know, the meme of, I like the pumpkin spice, all right? I love the pumpkin scented. I love it all. And yeah, him too, yeah. And we love whiskey.
PSLs for life.
That's right, PSLs for life, dude. That smells so nice. I actually get a lot of the rose off of it though, believe it or not. Tastes like fall in a glass, dude. A little bit of that tea influence though, definitely. I'm not a tea drinker, but I see where they're coming from. I'm trying to pull the pumpkin. I get a lot of tea, so if you like fresh tea, or warm tea, I should say, you're probably gonna love this. I definitely think it's worth more than 40 bucks. He is right, especially for the right market. I just don't know if it's for me. But it tastes good. It's a good one. This is actually one of the craziest things. Luxardo makes, how big is this? I mean, that is just massive. Ideal for cocktails. Who's gonna spend $109 on cherries?
6 pounds.
6 pounds. There's one person that will. Who?
So-
you don't have to say who it was.
Crazy story, you know, no names. But one of my customers loves the Luxardo cherries, and he requested, can you please get me the biggest size available of the Luxardo cherries? And I was like, sure. Are you really gonna buy it? He consistently buys them. He says he puts 3 to 4 in each old fashioned, and then his wife eats them. So yeah.
Majority of these cherries get eaten. $109 is what he's requesting.
He has expensive taste.
Expensive taste? Hey. And she consistently buys it, right?
Yeah, yes they do. Yeah, that's probably my 3rd case of them.
A little bit of an outro here. We just finished with the very first store, but starting off, we got some Penelope Valencia. Laird's straight apple brandy, but this is a bottled in bond. I didn't even know that brandy could be bottled in bond. So that's pretty interesting to see. I love a little bit sweeter stuff. We're getting into the fall season, so that's perfect. This Still Austin Reserve and Spirits. There's not much left. I would be surprised if after this video there's any left. This is truly, you guys know, I don't like Still Austin barrel picks that much. This one blew me away. It was one of my favorites, if not top 2 of the day. Come on, man. What a gift. You gifted the 175 Weller.
The land of Weller, man.
The land of Weller is Texas. Yeah, it's fantastic. Let's go through the rest of your haul too.
And then, I mean, I got this Penelope Valencia. You know, it's got a great selection here at this store. And then
Yeah.
I like to venture out a little bit, do some espresso martinis. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna get some of those and then start making that.
So the next store we're going to go to is Flax Liquor in Clear Lake. They do great store picks. They've done Four Roses, they've done Old Forester, 1792, you name it, they've done it. They do a lot with the Four Horsemen of Houston, which are some liquor store owners and bar owners that make just phenomenal picks. So they run all their stuff through them. Definitely think we're going to find something there.
Awesome. That's where we're heading next. We'll see you there. One of the first things I want to point out is this Sagamore Calvados finish, $65.99. It's one of my favorites. I love that finish coming from Sagamore. They're not the easiest to find right now either, but I highly, highly recommend if you see one of these Sagamore, if you're interested in diving into the rye world, grab this Calvados, a little bit on the sweeter end. It's a good finish. 101.2 proof for $65.99. You can't beat it. I'm not gonna lie to you. This Prideful Goat right here, this one is fantastic.
And right here in Houston.
Oh, right here in Houston, unfiltered cash strength. Prideful Goat is fantastic. That's a good price for Maker's Mark cash strength right here. $49.99 Maker's Mark cash strength. Oh, what is that?
Even though we got knocked out of the playoffs, I mean, gotta have your Astros bottle.
Shout out to the Astros, dude. Boo Astros. Even though I'm wearing a hat, literally, with the Astros. Not necessarily promoting them, but, you know, I'm a hat collector and a bourbon collector. Now, I gotta ask you a question, and you could say this. Growing up as a kid, maybe not now that you're in the pros, what's your favorite baseball team growing up?
So it was definitely the Astros. I watched the likes of Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell,
Of course.
the 3Bs, Lance Berkman. Those were my guys that I watched. I actually had season tickets. My family, we kind of had a lottery of people. We had season tickets back in the day, back when they weren't very good.
Yeah.
So I've been through the thick and thin for sure. But yeah, definitely the Astros.
Buffalo Trace, a liter, $39.99. Not sure what the 175 would, but I'd be guessing about 45 to 50 bucks because of the liter being $39.99. And then right under it, we got some Still Austin cash strength for $59.99. Right next, we got some Benchmark Top Floor. I've seen it for a little bit lower price sometimes, but this is a fantastic bottle, 86 proof. I'm not a fan of the real lower proof whiskeys. However, this is probably my favorite under 90 proof whiskey. Blue Note, this is a store pick of Blue Note for $46.99. That's a fantastic price, by the way. Normally, when I see Blue Notes, they're going to be around 50 or above. So $46.99, highly recommend. Bye. I love Blue Notes. They're solid. You're not going to go wrong if you buy them. These two here, Revival, New Southern Revival Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Jimmy Redcorn for $89.99. Is this bottle worth $90 no matter where it comes from? It's only a little over 90 proof would you recommend the Revival Jimmy Red Bourbon? This is probably the cheapest I've ever seen Old Granddad 114 proof for $22.99. That's a fantastic bottle. Right next to it too, one that I always have to shout out is Early Times Bottled and Bond for $23.99. And hey, look, if you're a Mellow Corn fan, $19.99 for the Mellow Corn Bottled and Bond straight corn whiskey. So here we got some William LaRue Weller Corazon, and I know you said you're probably going home with this, right?
Oh, I'm going home with that.
You've been waiting to find one.
I have, man. I've seen Eagle Rare and Sazerac
and
different expressions of it, but I have not seen the WLW for $100, man. I can't leave it there.
I got mine.
It's the last one.
Yep, $99.99. I got mine for $89.99, so $10 difference. It's fantastic. It's worth every penny. Real quick here, look. James E. Pepper. Plenty of James E. Pepper decanters. Some Kentucky Owl, New Riff Single Barrel. Down here, you got some Jefferson's Tropics right next to the Hemingway Rye. Just fantastic. And even if he's taking the last WW, but there's some Sazerac in there, some French Oak in there. I've heard great things about them all.
Yeah, Calumet 16.
Oh, Calumet 16 too for $159.99. That's one that I slept on for a while after I tried it. I really, really enjoyed it. Really loved it. Is it one that I'm going to regularly spend $160 on? Probably not. But that is the right price for it. If you're interested, they have it here at Flax. And here are some of the store picks available. We got some Old Forester, Knob Creek, Elijah Craig, the Four Roses, of course, your 1792 Bottled and Bond and Foolproof. The Russells, believe it or not, I really, really enjoyed this Russell's pick. It was fantastic. But my favorite out of all of them was this Maker's Mark. You guys know I love Maker's Mark. If they still have availability after this video is posted, please come do yourself a favor, grab that Maker's Mark. Last thing we'll show in Flax is Baby Weller's 375s for $17.99. They got them, come get them. Just saw this Still Austin, Bottled and Bond, straight rye, $80. And you were telling me.
So it's the 4th iteration of their Bottled and Bond, at least that's my understanding. So it's red corn, high rye, blue corn, straight rye, repeats.
Okay.
So it's going to start in the summer with the red corn, and then in the fall you've got the high rye, the winter is the blue corn, and then springtime is the straight rye, all Bottled and Bond.
What can we expect next from them?
If I had to guess, it's going to be another iteration of the blue corn.
Blue corn's next.
The blue corn should be next.
Okay.
They just released the high rye, the 6-year variant. I was told it was a distillery only. I have no idea. But I was at the distillery and bought a bottle. It is phenomenal. If you see one, buy it immediately.
Okay. That Rendezvous right here, look, check this out. Isn't that something that's like not really made anymore? Or am I crazy? Different label at least.
I think the label is a little bit older. I have a Rendezvous. And
okay.
I don't know how rare it is.
Okay.
I found it on the shelf somewhere, so maybe I got lucky.
I guess we'll leave it to the guys in the video right now. Let us know down below. Is that one? Because I'm not picking it up.
I think the double rye is the
I've had that one too.
Okay.
I have that one in the house. But that Rendezvous, that looks like an older label. Is that one that we should have maybe picked up? I don't know. But let's talk about some of the rest of the stuff on their shelf.
What I own.
Yeah, definitely mine too. New Riff 8-year starting off like hot. $89.99 for the New Riff 8-year. Love a lot of the stuff that New Riff's making. I'm sure you can agree.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Penelope's too. If I were to go away with anything on the show. So wait, first of all, $59.99 for the Architect's great. But this one right here, if I had to go away with one of these, it'd be the $75.99 for this Penelope Private Select. It's probably going to be the most complex out of all of them. A little bit different. Fantastic. Of course, we have some Smoke Wagon down here. $78.99. Choke Wagon, baby. I'm glad you know about that. What's up with that? Yeah.
What do you got? You like Smoke Wagon?
I like Smoke Wagon. Every now and then it's okay.
So is it?
Kings County right here. New York. Shout out to New York City. $109 for the cash strength here. If I had to go away with one, it would be their cash strength. Now look, I'm going to be open. I'm going to be honest. And I could be wrong. Fact check me in the comments. But I'm pretty sure they use smaller barrels. I don't care. Okay? You guys know that. If you're making good whiskey, you're making good whiskey. That's the motto here. I literally was just talking about it. This is one. He was like, dude, have you ever had any maple finishes? If you haven't had this RD1 maple, dude, you got to try it. You like beaver nuggets. You're from Texas. You like beaver nuggets?
I mean,
okay.
Buc-ee's.
Of course. You gotta love Buc-ee's. First of all, before we even show you anything else, look at this. OG Maker's Mark Private Select. Look at that label. $78.99. I'm very curious to what this tastes like. Maybe he might have a sample, but I feel like I need one of these on my shelf just to have because they're so hard to find nowadays. And then coming up here, look, this is, honestly, they just posted this like 5 minutes before we came. The Baker's 13. If any of you, would you go home with this is what I want to know. How many of you? And then here we have some Still Austin Red Corn, of course. This is the 5-year, $99.99. They did go up in price a little bit. The Musician, the Still Austin Cash Strength as well. We got some Nulu up top, some of the Ambarana, some of the Toasted, the Land of Weller. We're in Texas, right? I saw a lot more Weller in Beaumont, but in Houston or the south end of Houston, they have a ton. That's a 175, 750, and then 750 at Buffalo Trace, $39.99. I'm not sure the prices. They don't have the price tag, but look, I think we might go home with maybe 1 or 2 things. Last thing I want to show you guys on this end cap here, look at this. You got some barrel bourbon with a nice little 36 batch. I like that. Some Hard Truth here. Old Dominic. This is something kind of new to the state from what I'm hearing. $74.99 for the cash strength bourbon. Some Jephthah Creed. Hey, shout out JT Mellick, and look at this. He got only 3 bottles of the Specs Pick right here.
2 bottles of the Specs Pick.
2, because you're buying one. All right, so we all kind of agreed this is going to be the last stop here. I bought this Maker's Mark right here, 111 proof. He got the JT Mellick Specs Pick. I do believe this is the only Texas single barrel in the state right now, so I'm excited to try that. And then we got some of the Hard Truth. Can you tell me a little bit about why you bought this or what it is?
So he actually recommended it to me.
Okay.
And that's a you
Honestly, to be honest with you, this is a mystery to me as well. Me personally, I think I've never in my life seen a sweet mash rye. So yeah, and it's cask strength on top of that. So I really feel like it's a very unique find.
To go off of what you were saying, I've had a sweet mash rye before, Wilderness Trail. Yeah, fantastic. I love Wilderness Trail, but I've been wanting to try Hard Truth, and the fact that this is a sweet mash. And what did you pay for this?
55, but I think that was with a little bit of love.
A little bit of love, but I mean, hey.
I'll take the love. I'll take the love.
Oh, dude, we'll take the love. And normally it's a little bit more, but
I think it was around 70.
Yeah.
Right?
$69.99.
Yeah.
69, 70 bucks.
Would have been 70 bucks.
Okay. Would be 70 bucks for the average customer. I think there's how many left?
I think only 2 left.
Only 2 left. So they got to come quick.
Yeah.
Got to come quick. But we're going to crack into these 3 right now, all of us. Which one are you most excited for?
I think I'm most excited for the Maker's Mark.
The Maker's Mark.
You know,
we're Maker's fans. I think we've kind of agreed on that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Like that too.
I think that the JT is probably the thing because you keep talking about it,
Dude,
man.
we're on the Makers. This is the OG label Makers. That's why I bought it. I'm a Makers fan, and I thought, you know what? Before these ever go away, when I can never find them, I would like to have one of these labels. It smells great. Bro.
Yeah.
Big Maker's fan.
Dude. Dude. That is just absolutely insane. Isn't that good?
That's damn good.
Look, there's no burn to it.
Awesome.
There's almost no ethanol. JT Mellick next. You got some stiff competition with that Makers. Let's go to it. So 121.9 proof, just shy of 122.
That nose is interesting.
So the nose, I'm gonna be honest with you, the nose I don't get a whole lot. On any JT. It smells sweet. It smells nice.
Very much so.
I smell the proof, but it's not like this is gonna blow me away. Wait till you taste this.
Okay.
Here we go. Here, cheers everyone.
Cheers.
Houston. Whoa, what a good clean.
That's different. It's a super light finish.
Yes.
I mean,
It's moist rice, baby. JT Mellick, you got moist rice, all right? That is fact.
Some people aren't gonna like that word.
It's not dry. Can you believe that that's not bourbon? It's almost hard to believe that that's not bourbon or from a bourbon mash bill.
that you could have fooled me.
Yeah.
You could put that in a blind, and I would have definitely thought that was bourbon.
Yeah, I agree.
That's very unique. The finish is super clean. It reminds me of being at the movies as a kid and eating Milk Duds and drinking Mr. Pibb.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You and I both love the weeded, the Maker's profile.
I think that's
find.
Yeah, that's what we're gathering, right?
Yeah. What do you think of this?
Soft.
Soft.
Soft's the best way to put it. Good flavor. Like,
Yeah.
overall, just like when it hit my tongue, I feel like it was just like, whoa. Like, I don't know what I was expecting from a rice whiskey,
Yeah.
obviously, but no, I mean, very approachable for sure. That's a good way to put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right, guys, so we're done bourbon hunting today in the South Houston area. We barely hit, barely hit any compared to what Houston looks like, right?
Absolutely.
But we definitely hit some of the best stores, I would say. I appreciate it. I met some of the best owners. Come on, Vismay here. His store, the
Thank
very
you so
first
much.
stop. Fantastic, by the way. One of my favorite selections, if not my favorite selection of the day. But we're here at Space City Liquor, and I was curious. I was like, Space City, why are they calling it NASA? Duh. Anyway, NASA's right around the corner. He works for NASA. Can you believe that? We got a pro baseball player, a NASA worker, and a liquor store owner all bourbon hunting with us today. It was wild, but look,
Small world.
It's an odd
Small
world.
world.
Hey,
man.
it's a small
Hey, that's
world.
what bourbon does, though.
Yep. Whiskey
Yeah.
brings
Bourbon
people
does.
together.
it brings people together. I love it. I thank every single one of them for inviting me out to Houston, letting me know what's here. But here's what we got for the last bit of the haul. Starting out with RD1. Let's start out. So Taylor, you got this RD1 maple finish.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Obviously, I like the sweeter stuff. You kind of steered me that way. You told me that
Oh, yeah.
that was really good.
Oh yeah.
Better than the, what is it, the Widow Jane Decadent?
The Widow Jane, for the price, it's a little bit
Fair,
better.
fair.
And then moving on, I bought
I
that
got.
Maker's Mark Private Select. The reason I bought it, look, I love Maker's Mark either way, but I do think that they're gone away with those labels. Those are a little bit old school Maker's Mark labels for their private selects. And one of you guys said it, the Four Seasons, right? The hotel.
Yes, Bayou and Bottle is from Four Seasons. It's a really nice, modern, private, beautiful bar inside of Four Seasons. And they did a barrel pick that they no longer wanted. So guess what? Space City kind of capitalized on it. So
Shout out Space City. Yeah, definitely. And then next we have, you got to tell us about this. I'm not a Scotch guy, but if you're a Scotch guy.
beaten path here. Let's go off the beaten path. I got a really rare Scotch here. It's a single malt that's 16 years old. That was finished in French oak. They no longer make this. Honestly, I got a steal for this. Honestly, it's worth probably $100 more. I think I just got lucky. Let's say I got a lot of love on this bottle.
Absolutely. And can we shout out the liquor store?
It was Flax.
Flax liquor store. Okay, Flax got it. Next, we're moving on to you, Jared. What you got next for us?
So next up is the Sweet Mash Rye from Hard Truth. I grabbed this actually on Visman's recommendation because he said that it wasn't a common bottle around the area. I got a little love on this, I'll be honest here. It's normally about 70 bucks. I think I paid about 55. I'm gonna take the love where I can get it. Even at 70 bucks, even at 80 or plus, I would still buy this bottle. This was excellent when we cracked it open at the counter. It's very unique and I'm happy to have it to the collection. Next up, JT Melick. Store pick from Specs. Grabbed it from Space City as well. This is a super unique bottle. I never once thought that I was going to drink rice whiskey.
Yeah.
I never once thought that if I closed my eyes that this wasn't a bourbon. And then from Flax, I grabbed this guy. Again, based on a Kanan video, a WLW Corazon tequila pick. I like tequila, and when you're going to put it in a William LaRue Weller barrel, how do you not buy it?
Yeah.
How do you not buy it?
Yep.
So, yeah, that's the haul from the last couple of stores.
I'm a cigar fan. I like them. I said I have them about once a week, once every other week. Jared's a big cigar fan. So tell us about what cigars we're going home. Because, you know, as a non-avid cigar smoker, I might not know exactly what these are. What are we going home with? Some of these are pretty special.
Okay. So I am a member of Bravada Cigar Club. Shout out to those guys. I got a sticker on my back windshield right there.
There it
Don't know if
is.
you can zoom in. Been a member for a little over 4 years now. I'm also part of a Houston-based chapter called the Lone Star Herf Crew. We might be rebranding soon. You didn't hear that from me.
Okay.
But the first one that I'm going to shout out is Our Personal Cigar. This was done through Bravada Cigar Club. This is Aganorsa made tobacco. If you scan a QR code on the back, it gives you tasting notes. I love this. I mean, yes, I picked it, but this is such a good cigar. It goes great with coffee, goes good with low-proof whiskey. It's very unique, all Nicaraguan made, delicious. Next up, this is called the Snickers. So who doesn't love a good Snickers bar?
Love them.
This was an event exclusive for our PravadaCon convention that we did in Orlando back in March. This was not available anywhere else but there. You can see right there, caramel and chocolate. I don't know if the camera will get that.
It might,
but
yeah.
We'll see. Caramel and chocolate. It's a Snickers bar that you smoke, if you smoke. Can't recommend it enough. Next up, a barrel-aged cigar. This in particular, I believe, was done in Heaven Hill barrels. Don't quote me on that, but if Brian sees this video, he can correct me. This, I'll just go ahead and open it up for you.
Go ahead.
This bag right here has a humidification in it,
Nice.
so you can leave it right there. Actually,
Can I smell that stick?
No, it doesn't.
Let's smell it. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I believe this was done in Heaven Hill barrels. Do not quote me on that. I could be wrong. But this was aged in a whiskey barrel. I don't know if they used a cheesecloth or what they did. They're way smarter than me. That's way above my pay grade. but it's outstanding, and it's a barrel-aged cigar that you can put with whiskey. That's what it's meant for. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And next up is actually a shout out, because Kanan lived in Colorado for a long time. I got a lot of love in Colorado from some friends of mine called the Cigar Cowboys. This is their group release. This is the Dama de Noche. This is also available on Privado Cigar Club's website. I think it might be sold out, but I'm not quite sure. These are some great friends of mine. This is a phenomenal cigar. It goes great with whiskey, great with coffee, great with cognac, great with whatever you want to put it with. It's medium to full bodied. It's going to go with pretty much anything that you want to drink with it.
Nice.
So had to throw this in there. These guys are phenomenal. Love these guys. Shout out Cigar Cowboys. Shout out Privado Cigar Club.
Well, look, Jared, thank you so much. You kind of, from a YouTube comment, here we are, starting it out. I was like, look, anybody live in Houston area, let me know. He's like, hey, we got to take you to these stores. Dude, thank you so much. What a great store that you have. Thanks for having us out. And then on top of that, thanks for coming out with these amazing stores. They're great stores. Y'all all are great stores.
To play incognito for a little bit, but hey, it was fun.
It was a little bit circular, a little bit James Bond. It was a good time. And Taylor, thank you for coming out. You were just like, dude, you're coming to Houston? He was like, I might be going to Louisiana. I was like, well, look, I'm coming to Houston. Also, he's not that tall, okay? He's standing on a ledge. But before we end, go Yankees. What else you got to say?
Just shout out to the people that watch his channel. He's a great guy. It was nice to meet him, and just cool experience to be able to go out with him. And I've watched a lot of his vlogs going out and bourbon hunting. He came to Houston. I was like, hey, I'll be here. I'm from here, so I wanted to say what's up. But he's a good dude, and it was a lot of fun today, so I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate all y'all. I'll attach all the socials that you need. Our patreon.com below. If you're ever in Houston, make sure you stop at all these. Look, let them know Whiskey are saying you, okay? Stop at all these stores. I'll attach all the socials that you need below. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.